And welcome to WVVH TV's live coverage from the Hampton Classic Horse Show. I'm Ernie Shimizi, and today is the big day. Today is Grand Prix Sunday. Today we'll be holding the FTI Hampton Classic $250,000 Grand Prix, the culmination of 8 days of our coverage here at the Hampton Classic Horse Show. So we've got a lot in store for you. We'll be bringing it to you live here at Hampton's Television.
Most importantly, we want to see how the course is looking today. My co-host Peter Leon's going to take us for a course walk. Let's take a look.
Scott, Guillermo Jorge has set one of the biggest Hampton Classic courses I've seen in years. It all starts right here with the ASPCA wall, fence 1. Notice how easily these blocks come down. This is not a freebie. Because of the time allowed, the riders are going to have to gallop over and make a short turn on this Hermes oxer. It's tall, it's square, but it's not very wide. This is fence 2. On landing, they go directly to a signature jump of the Hampton Classic, the Hampton Classic hedge jump. That's a very difficult jump, and it's the first wide jump in our course today. Upon landing over the hedge, the riders come to our sponsor jump. This is a very, very tall vertical, the FTI Consulting -62 vertical. Very big, very tall. The riders are galloping towards the gate, and then they have what we call a blind turn, because as they come around that water, look what's in front of them. This wide, square, tall oxer, number 5. Now the riders make a sharp turn on the second of our 3.60 verticals. What's difficult about this jump, it's off a short turn, it's right by the in gate, which is right behind me. On landing, it's a nice run to the open water away from the gate. There's no rail over it. They have to get over the white tape to jump it clear.
My diabetes tests me every day. It tests my patience, my time, and my hunger. But Jay...
Now the horses are all built up after galloping that water, and it's a left-hand turn to the triple combination. This is a very tall, square, wide oxer. 2 big steps to another tall, square oxer. Short 1 stride to another tall vertical. This is a hard question. Now coming out of the corner, this is a very difficult jump. It's called a triple bar. It's very full front. The Spy Coast triple bar is just a sea of rails, and the careful horses are going to get backed up, and this is going to ride even wider than it is. This is a very wide, spooky jump. Then it's 4.5 strides to another -60 vertical, the David Yerman vertical. What are the riders going to do? Are they going to do 5 short strides or 4 really big ones? Now the riders gallop up to fence number 11, this square -70 wide, the widest square oxer on course, the Pilatus oxer. Power, carefulness, and now bravery. Another signature question of the Hampton Classic Grand Prix, the double Liverpools. We have what's called an open face Liverpool, where this -52 vertical is set behind the black water. Short 2 strides to a -55 vertical with the water set behind it. This is very difficult. You need careful, brave, and a very fit horse.
The VIP Table Design Award A beautiful custom cast horse head sculpture donated by Marcia Holzer as part
Our
of the
course
award
designer
today.
is very clever.
Firefly
He uses
Farm
jump
winners,
location.
Pilatus for
The horses are
second,
tired,
Cyclist
and now
Farm
it's a
finishing
short
up
turn
in third.
out of this corner to this square, tall, wide oxer number 13. 4 strides to the very last. A narrow vertical that comes down very easily.
First horse on course for the $250,000 FTI Grand Prix and World Cup qualifier. Alan Keeley will sound the call, and again joining us is Bill Weeks, the gentleman who is representing Taylor Harris and making history in Triple Crown.
Excuse me, you can't stare at me. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down.
And Antares is trotting out on course right now, getting ready.
It's unbelievable the moment that's about to unfold. McLean Ward, 2-time gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist, on his Olympic mount, Antares F, owned by the Grant Road Partners LLC. He has won every major class so far this week.
4 out of 4.
And he has the added challenge of going first over this daunting course.
His third appearance in Olympic Games. He has been a 6-time winner of this class, and in the last 3 years, he has won this class on 4 different horses. And
let's watch how McLean negotiates this course.
Mounts here today, and time allowed of 91 seconds with 35 to show in the first round.
Beautifully ridden. It's a very tall vertical. I think McLean feeds off the pressure. Oh, did he make it? Yes, he did. He's still clear. Seven jumps to go. That big triple bar. Still clear. Spooky double Liverpools, and then the last line. He's doing it. Come on, McLean. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a heartbreak.
Last jump down.
1.5 seconds under the time allowed. 4 at that very delicate, skinny vertical. Meter 55 skinny.
As you can see, that time allowed's 91 seconds. A tight time. He was 89.53. Well, Bill Weeks.
All I can say is I think that ensures the Triple Crown Challenge is going to be around for a little bit longer.
It's a bittersweet for all of us here, but you're exactly right.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Great to have you with us, Bill. We really
Bill,
appreciate
you're not
you.
even sweating. I'm impressed.
Of course, but I was riding with him.
Bill, we
Very,
appreciate your
very
involvement
exciting.
in this. Very, very exciting. Thank you again. My best to Michael Taylor, please.
Thank you, Bill.
Take
Good
care.
It doesn't get any closer than that, Scott.
Right to the
Now we have Nick Delajoyo on his well-known partner, Scarface. These two have had a lot of success. They did not have a great day on Friday. And this is a seasoned horse and a quickly experienced rider in Nick Delajoyo. son of the individual bronze medalist Norman Della Gioia. Let's see what he does. Nick is still clear going to the triple combination. These are big, wide oxers. Oh, a rub, but it's still up. Still clear with 4 jumps to go.
Come on, Nick.
Come on, Scarface. Oh, it's down.
Too bad.
I thought Nick rode it right. It just, oh my goodness gracious, that caused problems. That short turn out of the corner, up the hill, messed up Nick's arrival at that second to last jump. And good ride, good effort.
This is a challenge. This is a tough course, bottom line.
8 faults, just under the time allowed. He was about 3/10 under the time allowed. Now we have Lubov, Kochetova, and her horse Aslan from Russia. She's a very, very gutsy rider. She always finds a way to be in the thick of these big jumping competitions.
Oh, just last year with Royce, right here on this field.
Royce, an amazing young stallion that was sold at the end of last year to Margie Engel. He's had tremendous success with him this year. Lubov has jumped many, many daunting and difficult. Oh my goodness. What made that hard is that jump as you come around the water. That's a blind turn. You don't see that oxer to the last moment, and Aslan didn't see it. Aslan has a history of being a little spooky at the water, and you saw Lubov go to the stick. She's only got 1 rail. And given that he's a little spooky about the big water jump, the odds are he'll be a little spooky about the double Liverpools at 12 AB. Only 1 pole down so far. Let's see what she does. Oh, great ride. She did it. Aslan didn't really want to go, did he?
At all.
She's going to be slow, though. Now, this is a World Cup qualifier with World Cup international scoring rules. So it's 1 time fall for every 4 seconds over the time allowed. She'll go into 2nd place.
Derek Kenny. Well, Peter, joining us right now, a great veteran certainly of this arena, and I want to welcome my friend Derek Kenny. I'm glad you stopped by. There's a lot to talk about with this course, my friend.
Yeah, it's a very interesting course. McLean, I thought, gave an exhibition of riding. His round was fantastic. He got really unlucky at the last jump. But it's a tougher course than it looked from his round.
Does anything surprise you when you watch the first couple of horses go? Anything surprise you at all in the way that it walked versus the way it's riding?
I was actually surprised that McLean, he did the triple bar to the vertical in 4 strides. And my plan is to do 5. I think you'll see most of the class will do 5.
Let's watch Chrissy McRae right now and her veteran Romanovich take 1, and we'll talk us through it a bit.
She's going to do the 6 here. This is a super, super horse. This is a very, very big vertical on the side here, which is actually quite difficult to jump. And then this is kind of just an oxer where you have to make up a little bit of time allowed because it's still a bit tight, but you still have to be careful. It's big enough. and then this vertical is off a tight turn, and then it's 6 forward strides to the open water. And then you've got to balance up, but you've got to still have enough engine to get through this combination. It's very big.
Come on, Chrissy. This is her individual Pan American gold medal mount.
Here we go. This is the difficult line.
She does the 5 like you were just talking about, Dara.
And the 6, she did that really, really well.
This horse probably has the experience. Good chance to handle these Liverpools okay.
Come on.
2 jumps from home.
This line could suit this horse, hopefully.
Oh my goodness.
Heartbreak Alley again.
That is such a hard last jump to have a tall, skinny upright as the very last jump.
It's a difficult line because it's a big oxer off a tight turn. It seems to end up that you're ending up a little bit long and pushing at the oxer, and then that forward walks really, really short, and that's a big, big vertigo, the jump at the end. And for some strange reason, I'm not exactly sure why, but I find a lot of horses jump narrow jumps worse than they jump wider jumps, and the skinny jump is the last jump. It's very light and just takes a light rub and causing problems.
Causing problems.
Before
well put.
Peter gets going, you're riding. Tell us a little bit about your horse and what you're going to be focused on for this. What parts of the course are you going to really pay particular attention to with your horse?
Everything from 1 to jump 14.
There you go.
My horse, I've never jumped this height on him. I don't think he's ever jumped this height of a course. I would hope 1, 2, 3 should be quite easy. Jump 4, I have to balance up a little bit for. It's a big vertical. Jump 5, he should be good. 6, the water, he's usually very good. Combination, I just got to leg the 2 oxers, but he's really scopy and careful. So I just got to sit up jumping out, and then the outside line is going to be one line that I have to be a little bit concentrated on. You've got to ride the triple bar really strong, be strong with my body for the vertical, and then ride up in the 6 for the other. And then obviously the last line, I think I'm going to try and come a little bit deeper into the turn and over and get really straight for this oxer, and try and get a strong oxer but not fast across it.
Right.
I want to get a lot of engine so he jumps up, but he doesn't jump across too much, and then hopefully that will make the 4 a little bit better, and then I can hopefully jump the vertical.
For our viewers, this is so important to hear this type of strategy, because again, being able to hear it and then watch it, I think is so great for our viewers to understand.
Now, I've heard a couple of things from what you've just said. Number 1, you believe in your horse. You have a lot of confidence in him, even though he hasn't jumped this before. You know he's a good horse, and you have confidence in his ability to go out there and be good today. The 2 parts of the course that I sense you really want to be at the top of your game is that triple bar vertical line, and then while maybe you'll cheat the clock a little bit in other parts of the course, you're going to take a little bit of time and really meet the last line the way you want.
Yeah, for me, like, my horse is a really special horse, and he's been absolutely fantastic for me, and there are 2 places that I just want to be very together with him on, and know exactly where I'm getting to and know how to get to it. And like, you learn the more experience you get in the show jumping ring on what your horse jumps best, what your horse jumps worst, what pace he jumps best from, what rideability is his pros and his cons.
Exactly.
And my horse, usually everything is very good, but the last line I have to be really on my game for.
Well, we're going to be rooting for you. Now, we just saw Peter Lutz perform again. He had a few poles down, and now we're watching from Venezuela, Luis Larrazabal. This is a very fast rider on a very fast horse.
Yeah, GNC Flash. I mean, he has been a flash on course. Unfortunately, just that FTI jump came down.
That's a little bit the problem with that FTI jump, is it's a big vertical out on its own, and horses can lose concentration sometime, or they can get a little bit flat and rub it down behind, and that's a little bit what happened to him. This boy is a really, really good young rider, and he's very lucky. Gustavo Mirabal and the whole GNC team have done a great job with these horses, and they're very lucky kids to be riding such good horses.
Yes. Speaking of, though, you've come along in the ranks here for the past couple of years. This has been a dream come true for you to have horses like you're riding right now. Talk about your team and what it means to have a team that you have.
You know, everybody's biased, but I really think I have a fantastic team. Not only my horses, my trainers, the staff that work for us, like, we are so lucky. Everybody involved really do their job fantastic, and that's what it's all about. You know, anybody that thinks they can do this game on their own, they're wasting their time.
They're mistaken.
And for those people who are unfamiliar with your team and your trainers, talk about who they are and where this has all come from.
Well, I work for Missy Clark and John Brennan, who run a barn out of Warren, Vermont and Wellington, Florida. Missy's a huge equitation trainer and hunters and show jumpers, and her and John have a really good business, and they work very, very hard, and they've given me some amazing chances with some amazing horses, and you know, we've been very, very lucky that some people have stepped in and backed us a little bit, and
sure.
You know, they've done it's an amazing chance for me.
Well, it's an amazing chance.
I have to interrupt. We've got Jeffrey Wells on his way to the first jump, two-time winner of the Hampton Classic Sunday Grand Prix on his horse Merlin, and something I just noticed, we missed BZ Madden. So is she a scratch, or is there something we don't know?
I definitely saw the horse in the warm-up. Maybe it pulled a shoe or something, but it definitely, she was on it in the warm-up, and I would definitely think it's going.
And Jeffrey's on the very aggressive, very big-strided and scopy horse Merlin.
Owned by our local owner, Noel Love Gross of Bridgehampton, and certainly somebody who's brought along young horses like yourself, Darren.
I actually I got the great opportunity of riding this horse at a show, and it's a really special horse. It's a really special horse. Jeffrey does a really, really good job riding it. Sometimes it doesn't make it so easy for itself, but it has so much talent. And Jeffrey is
working on a clear round so far.
Round here.
We'll see what he does. It looks like he's lining up the 4. Canters the 4, and now this makes a steady 6.
This is looking.
You can almost taste it. Can almost taste it.
Maybe a little bit the time allowed.
2 jumps from home. He's got 11
he's
seconds.
He's good. Whoa.
Oh my goodness! Boy, the horse shifted left, and I hope Jeffrey's knee is okay. That shifted hard left into the standard. And it's actually a pretty good time. That's the fastest of our 4 falters.
He actually he rode that line really, really well. He made lots of room to jump the vertical, and he rode it fantastic. He was just unlucky. The horse obviously looked away a little bit and dove a little bit left off the ground, but
what a shame. That was a brilliant ride. Not an easy ride.
Yeah.
It's difficult to see from our camera angle, but the last line is not set parallel to the rail. As a matter of fact, it's set at such an angle that it invites the horses to jump to the left. And that's exactly what happened there with Merlin.
Well, they're rebuilding that last jump as Kent Farrington's next on course with Voyeur.
I think this will be your first clear.
Okay,
that's a good prediction.
We're going to hold you to that. I like that.
Now, Kent, one of our country's top riders. He's got feeling, he's competitive, he's got experience. He was second in this class last year on his Mount Useco. And this, if I'm not mistaken, is his favorite mount.
This horse he just got in Florida, and it's a really special horse. Really special. It's super careful, lots of jump, and Kent obviously rides really fantastic. And sometimes it can get a little bit strong, but it's so careful.
Ken has such balance and feeling. He's got a great eye, great instincts.
You know, you'll see a lot of the riders on the course that know their horses really well. You know, they ride to some jumps a little bit quicker than other jumps because they know what horses jump well and what their horse jumps well, and what, you know, they can take a little bit of chance for the time on, and what they can't take a little bit of chance.
He's still clear. What do you expect to see here?
I think
Dara,
5. 4 now.
Okay.
Interesting.
He's still getting it done. Come on, Kent. He's getting his horse organized for the double Liverpools, which he probably jumped a few times in Calgary. Those are tight, so if they dwell a little a day, it's okay. It actually helps you at B.
Oh.
One more jump.
Ah, there it is.
Good prediction. Ken Farrington. Masterful ride.
He's a very competitive rider.
He sure is. And that's one heck of a horse. Wow. Anything that you see there that you want to think about for your ride?
No, you know, like, I'm very much the type of person, when I walk my course, I make my plan. There's very little that I change after that.
Yeah.
I see everybody, and I'm just trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to do it, but I see everybody ends up long to this oxer. And that's one thing I don't want to do.
So the oxer, the second to last jump, is what you're referring
Coming
to.
out of that short turn, up the hill, end of the course.
I think I'm going to jump out of the double Liverpools, and I'm going to stay very left and cut in a little bit on the turn, but come down deep into the turn. And I think that'll put me on a straighter line and hopefully give me that distance that I want.
Well, it's right in front of us as we're watching now on course Callan Solom and BDL Torlando. That line that you're talking about, we have it right here front and center, so we're going to be keeping our fingers crossed for you.
Now, this is Callan's #1 mount, and she owns this with a group, and she's brought this horse along beautifully. She's got a number of Grand Prix wins to her credit with this horse. I believe she went around with one time fault a couple years ago. She was the tape away from a clear in the million 2 years ago.
Well, and she was with us earlier this week, and she really wanted a clear round today. Unfortunately, she has one down.
But four faults will get a nice check, so she needs to keep fighting. #2.
She was actually very unlucky at the first one she had down. He jumped up really well in front and just forgot his hind end a little bit.
You know, sometimes this horse can get a little strong and difficult for Callan to manage. She spent a number of years with Carol Thompson, rode a number of real winners and Grand Prix horses for her. Had great guidance and training.
So 4 down, total of 16 faults.
So Callan will be back.
Well, we appreciate you sticking around for one more if you can, and then I know you've got to run. We are going to have a break after the 18th horse, and then we'll be cheering you on. And you're in the 33rd spot.
Yeah, no, I have a very nice draw, which is nice, and gotta go concentrate after this.
Right, well, you're nice, you're calm and cool, and very kind of you to spend a little time watching with us.
It's enjoyable.
Now we have BZ Madden, who is now been moved down in the order. Something must have gone amiss in the schooling area in terms of maybe threw a shoe or a piece of equipment broke.
Yeah.
Something must have gone wrong. She's had tremendous success with this horse. She's won a Global Champions Tour with this horse. This is a powerful, powerful Scopy horse with a big stride.
I think actually you'll see her also do the 4 from the triple bar to the vertical.
Those Americans.
Oh, they love to go forward.
Truth be told, Dara, I asked you what you thought about that line during the course walk, and I knew my fellow American riders, like Kent, like McLean, and like Beasy, would probably consider the 4 there.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Dara? Is this sort of track suited to Cortez C?
I would have thought so up until
And then
that.
just that
was
point
a really,
right there.
really disappointing
That's really
rail
disappointing.
for her, because this horse is actually jumping fantastic, and she always rides amazing. And that was really just unlucky. He just dropped the hind end a little bit quick, but I would have thought this would have been a really good course for this horse.
Now you notice Beasy is moving promptly along because she knows the fastest 4 falter today is likely to win quite a nice prize check. Hunting into the double Liverpools.
Jumped that fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
That's exactly how I want to meet that line.
Beautifully done.
She rode that line absolutely foot perfect.
And that's the sign of an experienced international rider. She had a relatively early rail, picked up the pace, and put in a round that's going to end up probably in the top 6 or 7 today.
You know, also the thing about this class for us professionals and our owners and everything, we like to win a little bit of prize money.
No question.
And that's very important.
And that's what that fast 4 fault round's going to do.
She's I would have to think she's definitely going to get a check out of that.
Yes, and good World Cup points.
Yeah, which are also important.
Talk about the World Cup for a moment while we're getting ready for the next horse and where we're going to be headed next year.
It's in Gothenburg in Sweden, which is a small indoor, but they've had the World Cup there a few times before. It's gonna, the league here, they have this World Cup here, and then in Old Salem in 2 weeks for the Gold Cup, they have another World Cup. The week after in Kentucky, they have a World Cup, and then we go indoors. And there's like 6 World Cups indoors, and then we go to Wellington, and there's some more there. You, if you're really chasing it, you have to do most of them to try and get in, because it gets difficult to get in.
Now, is that something?
Finals, is that a target on your
actually
list?
This year, yes, it's a target that I'm trying to do. I would like to go there. I'm going to see how it goes gradually as I'm going along. I would really like to have as much as possible out of the way before I get to Florida, so I don't have to overshow my horses too much. But it's definitely a target, and it's definitely something I want to do.
Now, Dara, you've got a number of different horses that can jump the big tracks. For the World Cup finals, it takes a certain type of horse. Which one of yours, if all of your horses are in good form and good health, which one do you go to the World Cup with?
I think I could tell you that after this round.
Okay.
My
So
chestnut horse has really never jumped this height, so I want to see what he's like. He's very, very consistent. He produces a lot of results, and he's been a really good horse. And but my other horse, Wanna-Have, who's not actually here this week, probably has more experience at jumping bigger tracks and is a really special horse also. So I'm very, very lucky to have 2. Right now I'm a little bit unlucky that one isn't here, but I don't know which I would take.
Well, we're hoping for a little bit of luck for you today, my friend, and thank you for joining us. I greatly appreciate you stopping by.
We'll be rooting for you, Dara.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully
Appreciate
you'll give
it.
Kent a run for his money in the second
We
round.
hope so. Take care.
And we just saw Adrian Sternlick, one of the young up-and-coming riders for the United States. She had 5 poles down and 2 time faults, but this is all part of her learning and growing. And now in the ring, we have Candace King on the Mark Bellissimo-owned horse, Kismet 50. This is a very experienced international horse, formerly ridden by Meredith Michaels Bierbaum of Germany. So there shouldn't be any surprises for this horse. It's just a matter of whether it's a good day or an unlucky day. Off to an excellent start. You notice this horse has a red bow in its tail. That's a signal to the other horses and riders not to get too close to this mare's hind end.
Danger.
Give her a wide berth.
It's a real danger.
The mare could kick out. Good over the water. Candace, very experienced. Clear through the triple. Does the 5. Check your reins, Candace. 4 jumps to go. Come on. Kismet probably thinks she's at Aachen.
Come on.
Jumping the double
Come on,
Liverpools.
Candace.
She's over the time allowed. Great ride.
Great ride. Just over the time allowed. 96.23. 2-time. No jumping, but 2-time.
Brilliant, brilliant ride. And when you have a course of this difficulty, this size, this magnitude, a clear with time is tremendous
Absolutely.
Victory.
Sure is. And on course now, a young rider coming out on course, Karen Poley, and bottom line.
Karen, like Adrian Sternlich, in her first year of jumping the bigger sport, the bigger Grand Prix, one of her first World Cup qualifiers.
I'd have to say this is the biggest trap this young lady's jumped.
Without a doubt. Both Adrian and Karen Poley. We have a number of young riders that are climbing Mount Olympus today.
Yeah, that's right. That's a great day for show jumping here. Beautiful weather. The field's really held up this week.
Karen Poley rides with 3-time Olympian Ann Krasinski. Rode that beautifully. That's a big vertical. Got away with a lucky rub.
That jump is down again, Peter.
That's the position of that jump. You come around the water jump, and you only have about 2 or 3 strides for the horses to really see it, and it catches them by surprise. It's what we call a blind turn, a blind approach to that jump. And then we've seen more than once now that younger riders tend to be a little bit hurried, and even though fence 4 didn't come down for Karen, she gave it a hard rub. Oh. Now, a young rider like this, even though she's having poles down, really grows and learns a lot from a performance like this. Just completing the course is a big deal.
Most definitely.
And you come out of it a better rider. I mean, the biggest, simplest thing you realize is, I can do this. Because
absolutely,
a lot of these young riders are standing in the in gate, and whether they want to admit it or not, they're thinking to themselves, can I do this?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, you can.
Good job for her, though. 12 faults. By far the biggest course Karen Poley's ever jumped before. And on course now, Kara Rather and Saskia 269. She had a great day yesterday on her younger horse. This is a more seasoned horse for her. She knows this horse a little bit more. She was so pleased with yesterday, Peter. She said, you know, I knew my horse had it, but to really give that kind of...
Well, she's had a wonderful week. She was clear in the Friday qualifier with Lionel. Had a very good round with this horse. I think she just had one down. This horse, Saskia 269, is in excellent form. And then with her up-and-comer, she was clear in the Saturday Grand Prix, the Pilatus $30,000 Grand Prix.
And also her young horse. She has a 7-year-old that she's bringing along as well.
That's right. And Kara has the experience and the talent to be our next clear round. Beautifully done. Look at her take her time to this meter 60 vertical.
Talk about what that means, a meter 60, Peter, to those viewers that are unaware of the meters.
That is the vertical height of the jump. That means it is 5 feet 3 inches high. And that is just shy of Olympic standard. That is strong international dimensions. Kara working on a clear, coming to the triple combination. Rubless. Brilliant ride. Kara's got experience. She's jumped in Calgary a lot. This should not undo her. Still clear. Come on, Kara. Don't jump left.
Yes!
Yes!
Oh.
Time fault. Oh my goodness. But she was faster than Candace King, who went without poles down, had 2 time faults. So she's in second place all by herself.
I tell you what, beautiful ride. I'm really happy for her. Well, good ride for Kara Rather. On course now, Jonathan McRae and Colorado is going to take their shot at this. What do you think about this horse and rider combination, Peter?
I think they could go clear.
I do too.
Honestly.
I do too.
I think that the McRaes, Mr. and Mrs. McRae, Chrissy and John, they took their first shot and got all the way to the last jump with Romantovich take 1 and had an unlucky rail taking a clear away from them. And I think that Mr. McRae wants to settle the score.
Amen. Let's see how he does.
It's very well within John to go clear today. At this point now, all the riders know what the problems are, where to be careful, where to get straight, where to take a little extra time, where to save time. This has a nice big jump, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Beautifully ridden. You go out and get 2 straight, it eats up the clock. But you have a good chance of leaving the jump up. Come on, John. Going clear, coming to the triple combination. This horse has a very boundy canter. John does the 5. Still going clear. Still going clear. The time is going to be tight. Ugh. He's got 5 seconds to finish the course. Brilliant ride.
1 time fault. Wow.
John's going to go into third place with that performance because he's the slower of the two time faulters. Kara Rather, who went just before him, was a little faster.
Whew. I tell you,
Now-
this is really getting right down to how many strides you take on the ends of the ring, not just between the jumps, Peter.
Right. The pace and track, the rhythm and track with which you jump the course.
Let's see how Quentin Judge does now with H.H. Caratino for his Double H farm. He's been certainly traveling a lot this year, getting a lot of mileage.
So Quentin has improved dramatically over the last 2 years. He's really been working hard at it. He and his wife Casey have one of the finest show jumping stables in the world. They do everything first class. Quentin did the Olympic trials earlier this year. Got some tremendous experience, had some very good rounds. And he's moving at such a clip that if he is clear, I would expect he does not have a time fault. That's one of the things that our chef de keep, George Morris, was very, very big on, and his predecessor, Frank Chapeau, that we have to learn how to ride tight time allows. We have to be fast riders. Oh, that's too bad. He just met that a little bit uneven. And that's what the time allowed does. It makes you take a little sharper turn than maybe you'd like to in order to meet the jump just right. And that's what caused the problem at that big wide triple bar. And he still might have a time fault.
Yeah. 2 down and 1 time fault, so total of, yep, that's too bad.
9
8 jumping,
faults.
total 9.
Now this course that Guy has set today is a nice example where the time allowed is one of the hardest parts of the course. The time allowed is either giving you penalty points or making you have jumps down. It's a really tough course.
Very tough. Derek Aarons is on course now with Lasona, riding for Martin Huggins.
Darren Lasona, member of the winning Nations Cup team in Dublin, Ireland. He also was clear in the $500,000 Grand Prix in Wellington. This is a very, very seasoned international horse rider combination. They are prepared to compete with Kent Farrington and put in a clear round. Let's watch. What confidence he has in this horse. He did 7 strides to the hedge with total confidence. Dara using neat turns. Still clear. This mare has tremendous scope, very careful. A daughter of Quick Star, a top show jumping stallion. Oh, he fit the 5 in. Again, the clock is the problem. He's got 10 seconds to get through the finish timers. Oh.
I'm thinking he felt that pressure, Peter.
And that's exactly what the problem was. He made a very, very tight turn on fence number 13 to be under the time allowed, and as a result, had the back rail.
And we're back now for the second half of the FTI Grand Prix. for Mario Delorier, and with us to watch the second half, a few horses, course designer Guilherme George. We want to, first of all, welcome you here. Thank you. I know that the pressure's
Thank
right
you.
now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Guy, before we get into your thoughts about the course and how it's going today, Mario Delorier is riding one of the horses he feels is the most talented of his career. This is owned by he and his wife, Lisa Delorier, and this is a horse that he won the Queen Elizabeth Cup with.
Yes, I remember. I was the course designer actually there.
He was the course designer, so you remember it well.
I remember him well.
And Mario is a veteran of not only U.S. World Championship teams, but Canadian Olympic and World Championship teams.
And this is their home show. I mean, as Lisa Delorier says, this is what I call home now.
Is there anything about this course that's going differently than you thought it would?
Well, you know, it's a funny story because for the past days I've been debating myself if I was going to have 13 fences or 14 fences. Then this morning I was thinking about, okay, I'll go with 14 fences. Should I go with the skinny or should I put a 12-meter rail on number 14? So far I'm not very happy with my decision, but hopefully we're going to still have a few more clear rounds.
And B just came down.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mario's going to call it a day. It's a very talented horse, and he's just been bringing it back because it was injured. So he's not going to jump it unnecessarily.
Saving his jumps on course now will be Shane Sweetnam and Amaretto D'Arco. Talk a little bit about this course. You certainly gave it a lot of thought earlier in the week. You were talking about the time allowed. That plays a very important factor right now. Give us a little bit of an idea of where you were.
Yeah, I think this the time allowed for this course, as I was speaking earlier with Peter, it is tight, but it's easier to be done than last afternoon time allowed of the course of yesterday afternoon. It is a long course and there's a lot of turns, so there's a lot of space where the riders can make up the time allowed. Of course, having this final line here and the tight time adds a lot of pressure on them, but I think the time allowed is doable. It's a part of the course, but there's a lot of space, places on the course that you can ride and make up the time, so that when you get to the final line, you can still adjust, take the time.
Well put.
That's very, very well said. So, with all these turns, you can cheat the clock, and then you can take a little time at the end. And this is Shane Sweetnam's #1 mount, Amaretto D'Arco, veteran of the Irish Nations Cup team. This is also a home show for Shane. Spy Coast Farm, a very, very important and wonderful sponsor for the Hampton Classic and USA show jumping in general.
Well, and also their North American Young Horse Show Series, something they're very proud of creating, developing young horses here in this country.
Shane putting in a clear round. He's got 4 jumps to go. He's got 20 seconds to finish the course. Lots of international experience. The double Liverpool's no problem. Makes a tight turn.
There it is.
You brought luck.
That's good. I think this looks like the place to be watching the rest of the class, right?
Don't move until we get a couple more clear rounds.
Oh, we needed that. We needed a jump off, right?
Yeah, I'm much happier now.
He was a good almost 5 seconds under the time allowed.
We were talking, he was
so
very efficient on the course, and like on this, when you get to this level, you guys know it's a very fine line between what we had. A lot of 4 fouls. We had three clear rounds with time fouls. So we also need a little luck on the results to get an exciting jump off. But being a World Cup qualifier, being a 250,000 Grand Prix, being one of the most important Grand Prix in the United States, as a course designer, you know you have to build a tough test. So.
Yeah.
And on course now, Kirsten Coe and Baroness for Ilan Furter.
Now, Kirsten Coe, riding for the United States of America, did our Olympic trials has had some tremendous success. Very competitive rider, very talented, very capable of going clear today.
Talk about the field right now, Guy. I know this was a big concern of yours. You all really worked hard on it.
Yeah, I think the field is in good conditions for today's class. I tried to save the ground on the spaces I could. There are some jumps that the horse that need to be jumped, like the signature jumps of the Hampton Classic, like the hedge jump, the double of Liverpool's, the water jump. But I tried to use them a little bit less, thinking about the Grand Prix, and I think the conditions are very good today. The whole week has been good conditions, so the ground is in good shape for the riders.
And when the conditions are good, the horses jump better.
Exactly.
This horse is jumping extremely well.
Oh,
my
stay
goodness.
on.
Come on, Kirsten. She's going to do something to keep going. 4 strides. Does she have both stirrups? Yes, she does.
It's going to be a little
Okay, yeah, the time is
Time is going to be tight for her.
You know, that bobble just cost her the
Yeah, I think
precious
so, yeah.
2 or 3 seconds.
Well, she still can make it if she runs fast. She can make Yeah, no. That's it. She gambled it right. I think it was definitely the horse did a big jump going out of the combination and took her out of balance. So no.
And it's not by accident that you have jumps located where you have to ride a jump coming right out of it, right off of the rail, and oftentimes jumping right into the rail.
Yeah.
And this is one of those cases where maybe the horse made a big jump but wasn't sure which way it was going, and did a little shift in the wrong direction, and it caught Kirsten off guard.
The rider was already thinking about the turn.
That's an excellent ride, and unfortunate, a little disconnect after the triple combination for Kirsten Coe.
On course now, Danielle Cooper and Calantis for her Fidelity Farms. Again, this is a rider.
This is one of our young riders.
Yeah, this is her home show too. She's right here on Long Island.
This is one of our young riders that is jumping a course of this size and difficulty for the first time in her career. A graduate of NYU, taking a little bit of time before she goes on to the next chapter in her young life.
Now, Guy, talk about how this compares to your course from last year. Is this a bigger track than last year?
I think that it's a little bit long. It's a longer course. I think size-wise, maybe this one is a little bit bigger. Maybe the one from last year was a little bit more technical.
Okay.
Danielle doing a fantastic job going clear so far. Trains with Long Island professional Michael Zuckerman. So she's got 1 down. 8A is down. That's a 1.70 wide oxer. The Pilates jump. Come on, Danielle. Great experience for this young rider. She's going to have time faults, but boy, oh boy.
Big jumps for a young rider for sure.
And a wonderful job for a rookie.
I know you've got to run. We appreciate you being here. You're the busy man today.
Let's hope we still have a couple more clears for the jump off.
We think we will. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. The busy man on the grounds today, Peter. Nice to have him stop by and give us.
He's a top-notch.
Yeah,
he's
first class.
Likely to be the course designer for the Olympic Games in Rio.
And as we were speaking earlier this week, he was there certainly at London for the Olympic Games there, which is great because they all work together so much and gives us a little bit more of an idea.
Now we have Bobby Ginsberg on Palm Lady. Now Bobby used to jump at the high level of the sport. He took quite a break and got organized with his family, and now has returned to the sport. He's been jumping Grand Prix for about maybe 4 or 5 months now.
And this is definitely his home show. He went to it, didn't he?
He's lost a rein, but he's gathered it back up.
Unfortunate there. That again, we've talked about that blind turn. It looked like he just came out of the turn, ran right into that front rail. Ah, too bad.
That's the first horse we've seen today refuse to jump the water. It is going away from the gate. It's off a short striding. And that's going to be elimination. And Bobby will be back. He'll come back stronger as a result of what happened today. He'll learn from it.
Well, looking down this, the rest of the starters for the first round here, I have to say we still have several to go that could definitely create a 3-horse jump off or more.
We certainly do.
I mean, we have some great riders still coming up here.
And we have an Olympic veteran, World Championship veteran for Ireland, Kevin Babington, trotting into the ring.
Who definitely could take a shot at having a clear.
Now, this horse, Mark Q, is a horse that Kevin's had tremendous success with.
Right.
Won the Grand Prix of Devon, just to name one event. But he did not have a very good day on Friday.
No, he didn't, and that was surprised both of us.
Yes. So we will see if in short order, meaning between Friday and today, 48 hours later, if he's able to turn the tide and get back in the kind of form necessary to go clear today. With a rider like Kevin, with his experience and instincts, he could well do it. Off to a good start. Kevin keeping his horse very organized, very balanced. These are big verticals. Still clear. Come on, Kevin. Still clear. I would expect Kevin to do 5 here. Oh, he worked it out. Still clear. Come on, Kevin. He's got 20 seconds to finish the course. Come on. Look at him trying with everything he's got. Kevin is fighting for a clear round. Oh! Oh, my goodness. What a heartbreak for Kevin. I mean, that was a great, great performance. And when you take into account the kind of form Mark Q, his mount, was in on Friday, an even better performance.
Skylar Riley on course now with Waterloo. Watch Skylar. She's going to look around. Remember where she's going?
Yes. You can see her with her right hand.
It's her trademark.
Going through the course like that. Now this horse has quite a lot of what we call bit in its mouth. There's a lot of metal, and this looks like a combination bit of some sort. Combination hackamore and bit.
And again, sometimes the riders prefer that, and it's a common bit that we see, especially in at this level, isn't it, Peter? Because
you do see it. I mean, these horses have so much energy, so much power that oftentimes they need to be ridden with more bit than you would see in a hunter ring or at a lower level.
And yet, more bit, but a lot of the pressure on the nose, so sometimes it's just the same amount of bit, isn't that right? Along with the pressure on the nose.
Yes, it's the way the pressure or the the weight distribution is on the head of the horse, the nose of the horse.
Oh,
That's
again,
down.
that blind turn.
That's a hard jump.
Yes, it is.
I mean, the jump in and of itself is not so hard, but its location makes it hard. Skylar's setting her horse up, giving him a couple of half halts. It's an unfortunate rail. As in general, this horse is jumping very well. Skylar giving a good experienced ride. Boy, that last jump is hard to leave up.
Plus 1 time, 8 jumping plus 1 time fault.
That's going to go into 15th place and will not be in the final lineup for a ribbon or prize money today.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the next rider on course here. First time ever at the Hampton Classic, representing Brazil. Bill Weeks' brother-in-law, son-in-law, as I was saying earlier. I was like, he's going to take a shot of it. Rodrigo Pessoa is here. Welcome here at the Hampton Classic. First time ever here.
It's really a treat for us as Americans and for all the viewers watching on WVVH to see Rodrigo Pessoa, one of the greatest riders in the sport of show jumping.
And I know, speaking with Bill Weeks earlier about how they came up with the Triple Crown, Rodrigo was sitting in on those dinners, and he said, you know, this could really change your sport in the United States. He spends well over 6 months a year here, all through Florida, and his wife, Alexa Pessoa, they compete together. It's a real family affair here, and this is true international class riding.
And Rodrigo riding the 10-year-old gelding by Solano. This horse's name is Winsome. Rodrigo's had a little bit of trouble early on in the relationship. This is a new mount for him with the water obstacles. Seems to have it under control, but goodness knows there's enough water in this course today. If there's anyone that can answer those questions, there it is. Come on, Rodrigo. He did it.
Now he's got to make it up, though, Peter. He's going to have to make up the time. We know what that happened before.
He's still in the game. Most other riders, that would have turned into an elimination.
Yes.
Like all the great riders in the sport, Rodrigo has a clock in his head. Oh! That tight 5 just got too tight after all the riding and driving he had to do to get over the big water. No problem at the Liverpools. And there's that last jump again.
2 down.
Under that time allowed.
Sure wanted to see Rodrigo in the jump up, but it's great to have him here at the Hampton Classic. Still just 2 in our jump off, Peter.
Yes, we have Ken Farrington for the United States and Shane Sweetnam for the country of Ireland.
Yeah, it's going to be a great horse race.
Now we have another Irish rider entering the arena.
Yeah.
Richie Maloney for the Long Island-based Equanimity LLC.
And again, as we know, this man, he goes clear, he can go fast. We've been speaking about it this week. He's been very fortunate in representing his country at Dublin this summer. They were on the winning. He was this winning combination for the Nations Cup. Very exciting for Ireland, for their home country to bring home the Nations Cup at the Aga Khan.
Richie, a very, very competitive rider. Very intense. Going clear so far as he rides to the triple combination. Jumped that beautifully. Really, the horse really took his time.
Wow.
There's the steady 5. Look at Richie containing this horse's stride and concentration. That's too bad. And there's that last jump again, that skinny vertical.
And one time.
It's interesting that our course designer, Guy George, debated whether or not that last jump should be a skinny.
Yeah.
And at least as of right now, he probably wishes it weren't. But great sport.
Great sport.
I personally don't mind in a Grand Prix of this importance, this magnitude, to have 2, 3, 4 clear. I mean, I love that.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can get another couple clear here. It'd be great for our spectators certainly here. It's sold out Hampton Classic today. Now on course, Patricia Griffith and Waminka B.
Now, Patricia's been riding great this year. She's won quite a number of classes on the East Coast, and she's got the kind of mileage that, you know, she could be right in there today. And she's a fast rider. Being under the time allowed will not take her out of her comfort zone.
And Patricia, part of the Heritage Farm team out of Katona, New York. Great trainers of young riders, adults, amateurs, and she's going to it.
Oh, she made it. Good ride, Patricia. We often see Patricia winning in the Hunter Ring as well.
Absolutely, along with her students. This is a dream of hers. She's always wanted to be out on this field in this Grand Prix.
Well, she deserves it. She's a good jockey. Oh, that's too bad. No problem there.
Okay, 4
Under
faults.
the time.
Just one down within that time.
So Patricia is sitting in 10th place at this time. She's really going to be on the edge of her seat as the last 10 horses go.
She sure is.
She'd love to hang in there for a ribbon.
Wouldn't they all?
And
a nice check. And a nice check, absolutely. Well done on her part. Next on course, Sean Crooks in Armageddon.
Now, Sean, as we found out about earlier this week, spent a good amount of time with this horse in Calgary, jumped the Queen Elizabeth II Cup. This is a Scopy horse with good experience with Sean on big grass arenas.
And he believes in this horse. He says they really can't build a jump too big for this horse.
And he was saying to me, you know, Peter, as big as this horse is, he's very sensitive. He's very careful. Boy, he jumped that with ease. Oh! Stay on, Sean. Horse hasn't even had a rub. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, look out, Sean. Sean's up. He's taking a knee, just taking it easy for a moment. That's really too bad. He misrode the line to the water, got there on the half stride, and you saw the rest. That horse was in good form.
Oh, jumping beautifully.
I'm sure Sean is more upset about the fact that he was tasting a clear round than about falling off.
No doubt. Well, we're glad they're back up. We have now, coming on course now, Mark Blumen.
The other half of our GNC team riders, Mark Blumen.
And again, GNC Quavola, this is a perfect example, as Derek Kenny was saying, two great riders riding out of the GNC stables. This is a fast rider.
Junior national champion in Colombia in 2008. Mark Blumen handles the ride. He is 21 years of age and is up on the 8-year-old Self-France gelding, our youngest horse here today, GNC Quavola.
My goodness, what kind of turn was that? What a mess. Mark, I think, a little nervous. He's 21 years old. He went inside the flower pot and made a very, very awkward, sharp turn on number 2, but managed to keep his cool, somehow get over it, and he's still going clear.
Now, sometimes that's a surprise, though, Peter.
Yeah, that's an error. That's just youth. Still going clear. This is a very scopy horse. Now, if Mark can pull it together, this horse is jumping a little bit out of shock right now. And there's 1 down. 2 down. Oh boy. That 6 gets very steady for a big strided horse like that, and Mark got up underneath the Pilatus oxer. I think we call it mileage, experience. One of our youngest riders jumping here today.
Mark Blumen from Colombia and GNC Quavola finishing up with a score of 20.
Well, they'll call it another day here. Certainly he's had some great success earlier this year. That took us by surprise to that turn to the Hermes jump.
That was a nervous error. I think that he was so concerned about being neat with the time allowed, he just went right to number 2, and oh my God, I'm on top of it.
Yeah, lost his way.
He did a good job getting over it.
The horse was amazing. Okay, moving right on. We just not many left now. That we're still looking for our 3rd clear, Peter.
We have 6 left. We've got a number of good riders. We have Tim Gredley about to come into the ring. There we see Mark Blumen exiting and Tim coming in.
And Tim Gredley on Unex Tim 04.
Now, with this kind of class, it's interesting to try to get in the heads of the riders that are yet to go. Now, I can only share my reaction. If I was still yet to go, I'm thinking to myself, there are very few clear rounds. I can do this. If I can put in a clear round, I'm gonna end up with a top prize today.
Right.
Somehow, some way, I'm gonna dig in and get a clear round.
And he could create one.
And we still have Irish rider Dara Kenny, who spent some time with us earlier. He's hungry, he's focused.
He sure is.
And he knows that a clear round's going to end up in the top 3 or 4 today.
And if there's somebody that can do it right now, it's Darren.
Darren, we have Molly Ashe-Cawley.
Yeah.
Also on a really, really capable horse by the name of Carissimo coming up. Tim working with 1 down. Actually, it's 4 at the water.
Yeah. Second part of the combination is down, so coming around the corner with 8 faults so far.
Scott, I believe you know where Tim is based and does his training.
Yes, you know, and it's interesting because being a British rider, he's here for how long now, Peter?
I mean, I think he's based on the West Coast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Originally, so coming home with 12 faults.
Plus a time fault.
Well, on course now, Hillary Simpson. We've been cheering her on all week. She rode beautifully. I said to her this morning, let's see a clear round. She said, she really says, I have to tell you, after my ride this week, I feel great. I feel really confident.
She's on a roll.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful rider. She's got a great foundation. She's on a horse that's not only capable, but that she trusts this horse.
Yeah, absolutely.
This could be a day for Hillary to shine. She's won on this field before. I think she had a very good class this morning in the 7-year-old final.
She did. Very good. Super young horse she's bringing along. Looking, having her sights set on that being her next Grand Prix horse.
You'll notice Hillary rides in beautiful American style. Daughter of judge and trainer, horsewoman Christina Schlusmeyer. Hillary's had a lot of success with this horse so far this year. Truth be told, some of her clear rounds have been accompanied by a time fault. Come on, Nopus.
She's gotta watch it now.
Oh, that's too bad. Maybe a hair's breadth underridden. Galloping on over to the double Liverpools.
So coming home with 2 down, plus 1 time. So 8 plus 1, total 9 faults.
8 jumping, and we have 1 time fault for a total of 9 faults.
Well, here's somebody on course now, certainly very aware of what the pressure is.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Scott. I'm in the mood. Molly Ashe-Cawley and Carissimo are going to be our next clear round.
I'm with you. I got to tell you, I'm a fan of this horse, certainly a fan of this rider. I've known her since she was literally 4 years old. She grew up on
the very, very unlucky 4 faults.
Yeah, remember?
In the Friday Grand Prix.
She sure did, and she's just, this is her day.
This horse is a beautiful uphill canter. He's big, he's scopy, and let's hopefully enjoy this performance. The spring and power on this horse is like no other. Come on. Come on, Molly. Still clear. Hold it together. Come on. The big four. It's still up. Oh, my God. She did one less there. Gotta get it together here.
Keep it.
She's okay on time. Come on, Molly.
Yeah,
There it is.
Yes.
I should be in Vegas.
3-horse jump off. That's what we want to see.
What a great ride. And the unexpected did happen. I mean, that horse, after doing the big 4 strides, took a little pull and the reins came out of her hands, and she ended up doing 5 strides to that big oxer.
That horse gave it all. Great to hear the crowd excited for Molly here today.
The crowd
Fantastic.
was holding its breath
That
all
was
the way.
Fantastic. Great.
Now we have Derek Kenny, who spent some time with us earlier.
And he's got his sights set on a clear round.
He's hungry. Now we've heard his strategy.
Oh yeah, let's watch. I look forward to seeing, especially down this last line right in front of us, fences 13 and 14.
He's won a couple of Grand Prix already with this horse so far this year.
A great young man, I tell you. He's worked at this.
Dara's plan is to make time early on so he can take time at the end, especially that last line. Oh boy, is that unlucky. And with an early rail, he can attempt to be the fastest 4-faulter.
Which I would say he'd most likely try to be.
Yes, we know BZ Madden is currently our fastest 4-faulter, which does, and all those 4-faulters come after those with clear jumping but time faults. Okay, this is not the day. And it happens even to the best. Dara shared that this is the first time his horse has jumped a track this big. So there's a lot of benefit for this horse and he to go out there and finish the course and get that very valuable experience.
And he sliced that just like
Oh,
he
he's
said
fast.
he was going to.
He's fast.
Yeah, he sure
84 seconds. That would have been the fastest 4-faulter.
Sure would have.
But being an 8-faulter, he goes into 16th and will not see a prize check today.
Whew. Just 2 left now. Derek Braun on course from Lexington, Kentucky.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, when you were talking with Mrs. Laurie yesterday, she's doing some partnership with Derek Braun with the Young Horse program.
What Derek has done, very interestingly, he's a young professional coming up through the ranks, buying young horses in Europe and bringing them along here, and he wanted to figure out a way how to bring them along affordably, and he's now created some small, non-rated horse shows right there at his farm in Lexington. Beautiful jumps, fantastic horses, makes a great day out of it. In the end of the day, they have a barbecue, and it's a terrific way to really get the horses educated. And it's something that is done quite a bit in Europe, as you know, Peter, and certainly something that Derek felt that we need to do more of in this country. So Lisa Laurie of Spy Coast Farm is really focused on developing the North American Young Horse Show Series, and I think it's going to really start to catch on. People are going to do this throughout the country, and you can learn more about going to Derek Braun's website at Split Rock Farm and or the Spy Coast Farm website. It's a great concept.
Here we are, more than halfway through the course, and Derek Braun is working on a clear. Oh, that's too bad. Again, the time allowed forced him to turn a little tighter to that triple combination than he would have liked, and met there on the half stride. Now, speaking of Mrs. Laurie, at some point she's going to be organizing some auctions.
She sure is.
Her
Yep.
young stock. Oh,
Look.
problem at the Liverpools. They are very spooky. There's just so many good horses and good riders out here today that the kind of problems these Liverpools present isn't that apparent. I mean, it's really only shows itself in a small way, a rail here, a rail there.
But there it is. That's a perfect example of how hard that is.
And Derek's going to come out.
Smart, though. He got through it, Peter. And he's going to save his horse for another day.
Thank you very much.
And speaking of Spy Coast, they have one of the horses, one of the three right now in the jump off. I know Mrs. Laurie is excited about seeing if they can bring it home here, but it's going to be a fast jump off.
Our 35 competitors here this afternoon. We welcome down to Morriston, Florida. Here's Aaron.
And last on course now, speaking of a man that knows speed, Palm Sunday and Aaron Vale.
Now, Aaron is one of our country's top riders, a very natural, instinctive rider. He really is a master at developing horses, bringing them to this level, and then selling them. It's unusual that he's able to keep his top horses.
Now, this is a guy, he goes clear, Peter, and he's going to be fast.
Absolutely. It's the first rider we've seen today to come off the right lead to fence one. Off to a good start. Oh, that's too bad. Now Aaron's going to be hustling to pick up a prize check and be a very fast 4. Oh, he knows something about that water, huh? Went to the stick 3 strides out and got it done. Boy, that's some good riding.
I'd say.
This is a lot of course for this horse. Look at Aaron squeezing and flapping his elbows, using the stick to get over these big jumps. He's got 2 down.
So we're going to have our 3-horse jump off, Peter.
Come on, Aaron.
And he's coming home with 12 faults here. 12 faults for Aaron. Well, my friend, it's going to be quite a jump off. Let's take a look at the jump off course with you, because I think most importantly, I would like our viewers to really see it's technical. He made it very clear the jumps are going to get taller for the jump off. They're going to get wider and just as technical.
There's a lot of galloping to be done. There's a number of key turns. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's see what we have. Here's the course walk.
We will be back in action in just about 6 minutes. About 6 minutes before the jump off, we'll pause for a moment. There's Triple Crown Challenge. The rider bonus to be paid for the same rider winning the on the same order.
For the second.
Yeah. How many?
13. We're going to take a peek at it. The run for the money starts with the ASPCA wall again. Same fence 1 out of a full gallop. Our riders gallop as fast as they can to a new jump, a big square oxer, number 16. Now they turn as tight as they can on this meter 60 David Yerman vertical. How tight will they turn? Who wants to win? Now it's a mad gallop across the field to, again, the very difficult Liverpool combination 12AB. How tight they will turn on it, we'll see. Now our riders turn as tight as they can. They roll back uphill to this square, wide oxer, the original fence 13. Now the riders gallop over and make as tight a turn as they can on this meter 60 vertical. This is very airy and very spooky for the horses. Once they land, they have a choice. Dip inside to go to the last jump or gallop around 12B. And now it's the gallop to our sponsor jump, the meter 62 FTI Consulting Vertical. This is where the classes run.
And we're back now, preparing for the jump off of this FTI Grand Prix. Peter Leone, I've got to say one thing to you, my friend. This is going to be a horse race.
Oh, we've got 3 top riders, 2 for the U.S., Kent Farrington and
Voyeur.
And Molly Ashe-Cawley. We've got Irish rider Shane Sweetnam.
Yep.
So this is drama.
Voyeur and Kent Farrington can really set the pace. I mean,
Oh.
bottom line, that's the way it's going to go down.
He's one of the riders that can go first, lay it down, and no one can catch him.
Absolutely.
So
He's been, I tell you what, he's been all over the world this year. The horses are waiting for him in Spruce Meadows next week. I spoke with some of his team, and I know they're watching, and they would love to see him bring home a big win today here in the Hampton Classic.
now our course designer, Guy George, has gone ahead and made fence 13. He lowered the front rail 1 hole, so that's a step oxer. Takes a little bit of bite out of that jump. Everything else is equally tall, equally difficult. This is a very, very tricky course. Now, with 3 horses in it, you've got a little bit of a chess game.
Right.
You know, in terms of what strategy do you play. This isn't poker, you know, where you just, you know, you can just go out and do everything you can, you know, lay down the most incredible trip and just see what happens. You got to use a little strategy.
And Ken's strategy right now, looking at the course and thinking about the jump off, he knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses. There's also a new jump on the course, and it's a blue jump that you'll see that's coming directly towards the grandstand.
Yes.
And I tell you, they've been on their feet today. This is a crowd really ready for this jump off here. Let's listen to Alan Keeley.
Kent Farrington canters into the ring. He's getting a look at that blue jump you were just talking about. They have to do a U-turn, a left rollback on it, and Kent's getting a look at it right now. The problem here, even though there's only 3 riders, they're all 3 top riders. So you're going to have to be really fast to win.
Yes, you are.
There's no easy way out here. Well, Scott, do you have a favorite?
Well,
do you have a pick?
They're
They're all favorites.
And I have a sentimental pick.
Come
I
on.
can't help it.
Come on.
Molly Ashe-Cawley. I'm going with Molly.
And I'm going with U.S. rider Kent Farrington.
Great. Let's see how we do here with Kent.
Long gallop to number 16. That's a new jump. Oh, he's galloping. Still up. Now to the double Liverpools. Look at him accelerate. Oh, wow. That's some horseback riding. He's definitely going for it, Scott.
Flying around here.
He's not holding anything back. Look at this turn. Oh, it's still up, and the inside turn. One jump to go. Wow.
There it is. 47.53.
You know, I don't envy Shane Sweetnam or Molly Ashe-Cawley to have to chase that.
Talk about set the pace.
You know, when you use the analogy of the door being open, I don't think it's very open.
She shut that door. I mean, I wish them a lot of luck. I wanted to be that horse race we're talking about. Beautifully ridden.
And that, you know, again, was such a fast, fantastically ridden round. It was on the brink of disaster, you know, and precision disaster, I should say.
Oh, he knew where he was. He really went right to it, stayed at the end of that stride and on that gallop and made it work.
And
beautifully ridden.
And the difference between brilliance and disaster is a very fine line. He had 2 or 3 places in that course where it could have come undone.
Let's see how Shane handles this now for the Spy Coast Farm.
It's not like Shane to ride for second. He's got nothing to lose. The worst he can be is third. Oh, he's galloping. He could well still be on it. Oh, it's down. Okay, he still wants to be fast, though, because Molly Ashe might have a rail trying to catch Kent. Does the inside.
Nice turn there.
Good round.
Wow. 48.04 with 4 faults.
And Shane would have been on that time. He balanced all the way to the last jump. It was only a half a second off of Kent. Here we go.
Okay, Molly. If there's anybody that can do it, it's Molly.
And one thing we know already is that the U.S. has secured a win at the Hampton Classic.
Yes, they have.
Whether it's Molly or whether it's Kent.
Well, we've
win
seen
for the red, white, and blue.
Well, we've seen her in the hot seat before. She's certainly
Molly went last opening day in the Hunter Classic and won. She's going last in the Grand Prix, the last class of the show. Good luck, Molly. This horse has a tremendous stride.
Come on.
Oh, oops. Oh, boy. Oh! Well, she got popped in the head there. Everybody looks all right. And that bobble's going to slow her up enough that she will be in third place. There's no way she'll beat Shane's time. But that's what taking a shot is all about.
Absolutely. That's our sport.
Risk-taking.
That's our sport all the way.
Great try by Molly Ashe-Cawley with her scopy, wonderful Mount Carissimo.
Ken Farrington, he set that pace, Peter. 47.53.
A very impressive win.
Wow.
Ken Farrington put the pedal to the metal.
I'll say he
took
did.
the risk and worked it out. I mean, what a wonderful horse.
At the edge of his stride every single moment on this course. That's show jumping at its best. Wow. Fantastic.
Congratulations to Ken Farrington.
Yeah. And again, I think that Shane Sweetnam certainly took his shot at it. And we saw that Molly Ashe-Cawley, she had to go for it, didn't she, Peter?
Oh, absolutely. The worst you could be is third.
Yeah.
All three of these riders, went out there to win. And starting with Kent Farrington.
Yeah.
He laid it down. He forced Shane's hand. He forced Molly's hands to go out there and maximize the risk of turning and running.
Unbelievable.
And making a mistake.
Fantastic. Stay with us. We're going to be here for a little behind the scenes at the end here. We've got all kinds in store for you. We're going to be hearing from the riders themselves. Stay with us at the Hampton Classic. There he is, our winner, Kent Farrington.
The riders will do what's called a victory gallop. It's an opportunity for them to go around and show their appreciation to all the fans that attended the sport. You'll notice them galloping around, Kent with his hat off. A well-deserved victory gallop. And what a talented young man this is. And he's a quiet gentleman, but a very innate horseman and an incredible athlete.
A grandstand is cheering
acknowledging the
him
crowd, and here he goes by the sponsors. All the celebrities are out today, and top horsemen from all over the world are tuning in to see the results and winners in the Hampton Classic Grand Prix.
A hard-fought victory. It wasn't an easy one today.